All right, kiddos, quick video lecture on 5.2. We're talking about the resource market. And this is really getting into the resource market. 5.1 was a little bit of review. We're talking about supply and demand. I did create a video lecture for it if you want to go back and take a look just as a refresher. But if you get all that, this is really a good place to start in this particular unit, okay? So what we're talking about now is kind of how firms decide in a perfectly competitive labor market, meaning that skills are the same. All these employees have basically the same skill set, and we can hire them all for the same wage. How does the firm now react? Okay, so the market is set up obviously through equilibrium. Workers are willing to supply their labor at $10 an hour. Producers are willing to pay at $10 per hour, and so that kind of sets the wage in the market. The firm is going to be a wage taker in a perfectly competitive labor market, so maybe some bells are going off there, right, as we look back at the product market. And so we're going to play this out now and see how this works, okay? If we were in class, obviously we do a really cool activity that, to me, embodies the entire unit and gives us a really good idea. But basically, here's what it boils down to. Okay, and I'm gonna let's see. I am going to focus. I'll just kind of run through what the push-up machine is about, and hopefully it just kind of puts into play what I want you to understand from this particular part, okay? So in the activity, I tell you that I've created this new machine that converts human push-ups into energy, and we can sell that energy for $1. So every push-up that a person can do can be sold for $1, okay? So I'm a business. I know how much I can sell my product for. I can sell it for $1, but I got to hire some resources to be able to create this. All right, and so what we do in class is we get a student to come up, volunteer, voluntold, whatever it takes, and that blue box in the front of my room is the machine. We even set it up where that has a fixed cost of $20. That's not important right now. And the idea is that this person has to start knocking out push-ups. And I give them like 30 seconds to do as many push-ups as they can. But here's the important part. I understand from the last slide that the equilibrium wage in this market is $10. This is my marginal resource cost, okay? So for every employee that I hire, I have to pay them $10, okay? So I'm trying to decide how many employees do I need to hire. Well, it's going to depend on what they can produce for me, okay? So first kid comes up, he knocks out 40 push-ups. Is he worth the $10 that I spent to hire him? Well, if I can sell the push-ups for $1 each, I'm going to sell them for $40. I'm going to pay this kid $10, and I've made $30. Well, just like all the way back in Unit 1 and 2, right, if the marginal benefit outweighs the marginal cost, $40 of benefit here, $10 of cost, I would hire that worker, okay? Well, then we hire a second worker, and they do some push-ups, and they hammer out 65 push-ups together, okay? Well, we went from 40 to 65. Our marginal production there was another 25 units. Well, the next worker cost me 10. Would I hire him? He brought me 25 more dollars. It cost me 10 more dollars. I should hire him. So hopefully some bells are starting to go off, and you're starting to go, okay, I kind of get this. This reminds me of perfect competition. I'm going to continue to hire workers until the marginal revenue product, right, what I can sell my energy for, what I can sell these push-ups for, falls to less than $10. Once it falls less than $10, that next hire is not a good hire. It doesn't make them a bad person, doesn't make them a bad employee. It just means just like running any other business. I can't hire as many people as I want to just because they're my friends, just because they're my relatives. I can't hire these people unless they can produce. At least that's the general rule of a successful business. You know, all businesses don't stick straight to that. But yeah, that's the general concept. Okay. One thing I want you to think about here, we're talking about a perfectly competitive resource market. We know the equilibrium wage is $10. We're a price taker, so the supply here is going to be perfectly elastic, and I'm going to show you that on a graph here in a second. This just spells out the the rest of the push-up machine, and then we do all that. All right, so let's talk about the two things that we need to know to be able to solve a problem on how many workers to hire. First thing we've got to figure out is the marginal resource cost. All right, this is the additional cost of an additional resource. All right, well, in a perfectly competitive resource market, every person that we hire, it's going to be exactly the same, and that's why our supply curve we're going to see here soon is going to be elastic, right? It is the wage set by the market, and it's going to be constant, right? We know that each worker we hire is going to cost us $10. We don't have to worry about them having a different skill set, that type of thing. That's a little bit deeper in econ than you're going to need today. Okay, so for an example, the MRC of an unskilled worker is $8.75. Then we know that every time we hire a worker, it's going to cost us $8.75. Okay, another way to calculate it is we're going to calculate the total change over the change in inputs. Well, to me, that's kind of overdoing it, because I know that if the wage in the market's $8.75 and I hire another person, it's going to be $8.75. It's going to be $8.75. It's going to be $8.75. There's no need in me doing a crazy equation if I know what the wage set by the market is. Okay. Now the marginal revenue product, this is important because this tells us what the person brings to the table. So this is the additional revenue generated by an additional worker. Okay, so in a perfectly competitive market, the MRP equals the marginal product of the resource times the price of the product. They produce 20 more push-ups. I can sell the push-ups for $1. They bring $20 to the table. Well, what if push-ups were, if the push-ups were worth $2? They bring 20 push-ups to the table. I can sell them for $2. They're now worth $40. And all I have to do is determine, okay, I'm only paying them 10, I'm bringing in $40. That's a good hire, okay? And that's kind of what this right here spelling out too. If the marginal product of the third worker is 5, that third worker brings 5 units, and the price of the good is 20, then we know that their MRP, their marginal resource product, is $100, okay? And that can be calculated by the change in total revenue, because we figure the total 5 times 20, or whatever the case may be, over the change in inputs, and that'll tell us what the MRP is. All right, and so as you might can imagine, you're starting to hear and see some things that remind you of some stuff you've done before. And let me skip over this. That's something that we would do in class if we had the push-up machine stuff here. I might go back to some of this here in a second, but I want to get you right here to this. Okay, so how many workers will we hire? Well, we're going to continue to hire until this MRP that we talked about, this marginal resource product, equals our marginal revenue product equals our marginal resource cost. Okay, and so it's the same basic concept that we know about MR equals MC. It's just a little bit different way of looking at it because we're talking about labor. Okay. So let's take a look now at what the graph's going to look like. Okay, perfectly competitive market. Our wage is going to be set at equilibrium. We're a wage taker. This is our supply curve. Supply of labor is our MRC, the marginal resource cost. And this is going to be our demand curve, or our marginal revenue product, right? And we're going to produce right here where this is. We can quantify that, obviously, if we're working a problem where we're given some math, but this conceptually, the concept is that we're going to hire workers until MRP equals MRC. Okay, and so this is what a side-by-side graph is going to look like in a labor or resource market. Okay, now like I said, some bells are probably going off. You guys are hearing some familiar things. I'm just going to show you. It's really the same concept. We're flipping the cow now, okay? This is the same concept that we studied for an entire unit when we talked about perfect competition, right? Marginal cost, marginal revenue, and the exact same thing. We're hiring workers and the same idea, okay? Feel free to, go find the PowerPoint online, take a look at Clifford's video if you want to. He talks a little bit more about that. So yeah, I'm going to get over to one other part that I want to show you. You guys can try those problems. I want you to try those problems, but I also want you to, all right, here we go. You hire workers to mow lawns. The wage for each worker is set at $100 a day. Each lawn mowed earns your firm $50. Okay, so every time you hire a worker, it's going to cost you $100. Every time you mow a lawn, you're going to bring in $50. All right. If you hire one worker, he can mow 4 lawns per day. Well, let's think about that. One worker is going to cost us how much? $100. He can do 4 lawns per day, so he's going to bring in, excuse me, he's going to bring in $200. Okay? Should we hire him? We should absolutely hire him. One worker is going to cost us $100. He can bring in $200. We should absolutely hire that worker. Okay? If you hire 2 workers, okay, they can now mow 5 lawns per day. Now notice that wasn't a big jump. There's some reasons that could be in this. There may be one mower, right? And so if there's only one mower and you hire another guy, you're not going to pick up a whole lot. The guy's going to take a couple breaks, and maybe you get one more lawn done per day. So let's do some math and figure that out. I got 2 workers. That's going to cost me $200. I'm only getting 1 more lawn, or $50 more. Should I hire that worker? No, that would not be a very good hire. Okay, it would not be a very good hire. So what is the MRC for each worker? MRC is the marginal resource cost. What is the MRC for each worker? MRC for each worker is $100. Okay, what is the first worker's MRP? His marginal revenue product. Okay, the first worker can mow 4 lawns. He's going to bring in $200. So that's his MRP. What is the second worker's MRP? Well, we could go from 4 to 5. He's only bringing 1 more lawn to the table. Right? He's only increasing our business by 1 more lawn. So his MRP is $50. And how many workers should we hire? We talked about it already. We should only hire 1 worker. Okay. Now, how much would we be willing to pay that first worker? If you think about it, we don't have to worry about it because it's perfectly competitive. But we would be willing to pay him $200, right? Because he brings in $200, and that would be 0 economic profit, a positive accounting profit, and so on and so forth. Okay. And so we're actually going to pay him $100. We don't have to pay him $200. And so what would have to happen to the wage in the market for us to hire the second worker? Well, he's bringing $50 to the table, right? He's increasing business by $50. Then the wage would have to go down to $50, and then we would hire that particular worker. Okay, so that's kind of walking through that on the marginal MRP, MRC, how many workers we would hire. I do want to take a look at one more concept here. However, I'm up to 14 minutes on this particular video, so I'm gonna stop it right here. I'll jump back on and create another one. I'm gonna go through this "You're the Boss" scenario. All right. See you back in a few.